So, boomer guitars versus pretty much any other makers' models. For me, before I even ended up here in the halfway home, I've played a shit ton of guitars. I've had Gibsons, I've had Fenders, Ibanez, Gretsch. Like, pretty much I love every guitar. If it has strings, I'll play it. But my mainstay here is a Brownsville. Now, this is a cheap guitar. It's hollow, and the center block goes about an inch behind the bridge. Otherwise, it's completely hollow. But I use it for everything. If not that. That too. Now, originally these were supposed to come with toaster style pickups. But when I found it on Facebook Marketplace, the original owner said it's completely stock from new, from the store. And what I noticed was, these are not toaster style pickups. From Brownsville, it's a choir boy. And to me, it sounds quite dark. All the top end I've dialed in on the amp. So I don't get the I do get that the Gibsons are too pricey. I call it Gucci pricing. If a guitar speaks to you, if you like how it sounds, or better yet, if it makes you play like you, if you like the neck, you can change the electronics for whichever pickups you want. And this is something I've always done as a gear tech, and as a musician I always did my own setups. I changed the pickups myself. Something that baffles me, like one of the first Gibsons I've had was an 87 Custom Les Paul, and the only reason I got it at that point was because a friend of mine wanted to sell it. He didn't like it, and he had sanded down the neck, back of the neck, so it had no lacquer whatsoever. And because of that, I traded him a Jackson guitar, I don't remember which model, and some cash. And luckily it was cheap enough for me, with the Jackson as a trade-off. But ever since then I've gone through other Gibsons, Fenders, and I even tried some other high-end guitars. But what I found was I gravitate towards non-high-end guitars, because when you're bashing out, you don't get mad because there's a scratch on it. Like, I've read somewhere Gibsons are for collecting and Epiphones are for playing. It's kind of the ethos that I have as well. But to me, it's always been an audio thing and a feel thing. It doesn't matter for me what it says here. Like, This is a Squire. Sorry about that. But I chose that over an American Standard Strat. Now, prior to that, I had a Yngwie Malmsteen Strat that I miss a lot. But in general, doesn't really matter how much a guitar costs, what the brand is for me. You can pretty much set up any guitar the way you want it. And it's just brand gatekeeping for me if you it's dead set on if it's just Gibson versus Fenders nowadays, just like Coachella. Like people are whining that there are no Gibsons being played by young people. The experience I have at our previous shop, which is just closed down, is that younger players are looking for Gibsons, but cheaper Gibsons. Again, what I call Gucci pricing is kind of in a way. So, yeah. Honest question from me. Does it actually really matter what the brand says on the headstock? Or does it matter how it feels for you to play it? So, Gibson, Fenders versus any other brand? Me? I play anything that feels good in my hands.